Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today, I want to give a brief update on the ongoing trade issue affecting potatoes and other root crops. And Minister McKay is here to give an update on support programs for those affected. On Wednesday, the Premier and I were in Ottawa with the Potato Board advocating for our industry and meeting with federal officials. We were able to meet with Minister Bibeau and Minister Ng, as well as the new ambassador to Canada, David Cohen. We discussed our concerns and how these issues need to be addressed ASAP. As we also had the honor to stand side by side with our hardworking potato farmers, where we showcased the best quality potatoes in the world on Parliament Hill. We felt it was extremely important for all federal officials to know that PEI potatoes are safe and healthy, and that every day these restrictions are in place, the family farm is in jeopardy. Over the last week and a half, I've had the opportunity to speak with several farmers about their concerns. These were some of the most difficult conversations I've ever had as an agricultural minister. And you can be assured that these concerns were heard loud and clear at the federal minister meeting. But one of the main points that kept coming up was the worry about keeping their operations running. I had the meeting with one farmer who was late for the meeting because he was on the phone with his bank trying to secure additional funding to keep his doors open. That is the reality of these restrictions are having on our farms. The effect that it's having on our farmers and their mental health is evident and obvious. Our government is doing absolutely everything it can to support our largest economic driver and the pride of PEI. At the last press conference, I announced a $10 million contingency fund for affected producers, and I want to give some more details on that. The Potato Wart Emergency Contingency Fund has been established to provide support affected by the federal decision to restrict certain agriculture products. The fund is being administered by the Department of Agriculture and Land, and my department is working with the agriculture industry groups to manage the incoming proposals. Affected producers are asked to work with the industry groups, whether it be the PEI Potato Board, the PEI Horticultural Association, or any other group to submit proposals for funding. Our goal is to ensure that proposals put forward can benefit the entire industry. I want to reaffirm that this is not compensation and is meant to help affected producers and agricultural business with the immediate needs, whether it be finding new markets, strategy development, or anything that industry and the department deem appropriate. It is our hope that further compensation, if needed, the federal government will step up to help those farmers affected by this federal order. In closing, I want to reassure our agriculture industry that our entire government is taking on this issue, that we will continue to meet with our local farmers and bring their voice to federal discussions. Solving this issue is top priority and will take collaboration across departments and across governments. Now I'll pass it over to Minister McKay to announce 2 relief programs from his department to support agriculture industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Thompson. Hello, everyone. We know these are difficult days for the potato industry and all those that have been impacted by the trade restrictions. Unfortunately, these restrictions cause a serious ripple effect that spills over into our workforce and provincial economy. Our department has been working closely with the Potato Board to identify employers most impacted by the trade restrictions. We've also been working closely with the trucking sector, as hundreds of tractor trailers would normally leave from PEI with potatoes to the United States on a weekly basis. Layoffs of island workers impacted by these restrictions are a serious concern, and it's something we're working very hard to prevent. We know we need to act now to help those impacted get through these challenging times until these restrictions are lifted. That is why today we're launching the Wage Support for Potato Exporters. This program will support the island potato industry and trucking companies impacted by the restriction of fresh potatoes entering the United States. The program will provide wage reimbursements to employers to maintain their staff during the restrictions. We will also work with companies to help workers take advantage of training opportunities if there's downtime. More details on the wage support for potato exporters can be found on our government's website. Today, we're also launching the Potato Financing Program. This program will support island potato farmers impacted by the restriction of both seed and fresh potatoes entering the United States, and will provide working or capital loans. More details on the Potato Financing Program can be found on our government's website. And while I have this opportunity, especially with the holidays just around the corner, I want to take this time to encourage everyone to think and shop local in each and every way this holiday season. From the gifts you buy to the food you eat, let's make sure it's island-made and island-grown for the holiday season. Thank you.
Okay, I guess we'll open the floor up to questions.
Hi, it's Laura Meter with CBC. I just wanted to ask you, Minister Thompson, what's the latest in terms of getting the border open?
So our conversations the Premier and I had in Ottawa, it doesn't seem to be any time soon that this is going to happen. It looks like it's going to be the new year before we have any timelines on this. We're really struggling to get the answers that we require, a timeline, a plan. We're getting bits and pieces, but we're not getting the full answer. So it's still up in the air if this is going to happen or not, and it'll definitely be the new year before anything we can even start getting answers.
And how do you react to that?
This is unbelievably frustrating, and I mentioned the tough discussions I had with farmers last week, and it was tough. It's tough. This is serious. This is affecting our family farms, and we took that message to Ottawa, and we just can't seem to get the urgency that we feel it is there to get some answers.
So what's your message? I'm sure farmers listening in on this and following this were hoping for news on the border.
We're still hopeful that we don't have to destroy potatoes. We're hoping that these potatoes can find a market, but these decisions have to be made sooner than later. This is going to affect the whole Canadian market if these potatoes will have to be destroyed, or the prices will affect farmers across the country. So we can't do this alone. We need our federal partners to come and help us if that is the case with compensation. And they keep talking about doing it within our own programming, our business risk management programs, but this is way bigger than that. That will not keep the farms afloat. We need serious compensation or the border open.
And I know from speaking with farmers, when they talk about no one wants to dump potatoes, but in terms of timing and having to divert the crop and get it on the fields, people need that information probably end of this month, because you need the crop to be frozen, get it out there on the fields pretty soon. So have you had any information about funding from the feds for a diversion program?
No, we haven't. And with our meeting, we did bring that up, and we didn't leave the meeting with any assurance that the minister was going to go to Treasury Board, or any indication that she even wanted to go to Treasury Board. So that was a little concerning for us, and this is a pretty serious matter.
All right. And then just in terms of the programs that you're announcing today, where is that funding coming from? Is that on top of the $10 million?
Yes, it is.
And where is the funding? It's just all provincial funds?
It'd be mostly through Minister McKay's.
The wage subsidy side of it would be out of our skills PEI shop, and our working capital loan program will be at a finance PEI.
Right. And then you have also the additional $10 million. Are you expecting If you don't get additional federal help, though, are you expecting, what are you expecting the effect to be on farmers?
Well, it's going to be substantial, and it's not going to affect every farmer the same way across the board. We have the processing farmers, of course, but with the table stock farmers, it's a drastic increase, and we're just going to work with the potato board to try to come up with a solution and to keep these farms secure, and to make sure that we can keep the doors open and save this industry.
Would you expect some to not be able to be saved, realistically?
It's going to be tough times. There's going to be some serious tough times. Yeah.
We have so student EP from Gary. Are there numbers so far of how many employees have been laid off, I guess, due to the export halt so far?
For the most part, there hasn't been a lot laid off as of yet, Stu, but we're trying to make sure that doesn't happen. So with this, our numbers show there's about 1,400 employees would be affected. So this is part of the reason, like I say, we've been working with industry as a whole to make sure we can do whatever we can to prevent that. So the number we're working with right now is 1,400.
So is there, for the web subsidy program from Skills PEI on its own, is there like a maximum amount that specific firms can apply for?
Yeah, certainly. So obviously, we don't know how long this is going to last. So this program is a $4.2 million program. We've made it retroactive to December 1st, and each employer can access, employee could access up to $3,000 a month. So it's obviously done through the employers, but the cap is $3,000 a month per employee.
Okay, and I guess the potato financing program, I mean, again, is there sort of a maximum amount for loans under that program?
Yeah, so once again, we don't know how long this is going to last or what we need. It's quite similar to what we've done with COVID with our tourism business or in industry. So this is a $100 million loan portfolio, which farmers can access up to $5 million if needed. Like I say, this could change daily. We just don't know how long this is going to last. So we want to make sure there was enough money in that pot that if we do need it, it's there.
Loan guarantees on this?
There definitely will be, yeah.
All right, and so for the actual $10 million potato wart fund, I guess administered through Ag and Land, you know, there is a webpage, I guess, about it, but it sort of seems to indicate that it's going to be administered largely through industry groups like the potato board. So is there an allocation for, say, how much the potato wart or the potato board is getting, and how much the horticultural association is getting, and that sort of thing?
It'll be divided up accordingly, and you know, all the affected the horticulture groups. You know, it's going to affect that industry as well, and we're going to try to help them as much as we can with that 10 million. And it's a moving. You know, there's still proposals coming in and ideas, and we're really trying to use that money the best way we can to find new markets or whatever we have to do. Everything's on the table with that contingency fund, and we want to do everything possible so we don't have to destroy potatoes. Our potatoes are safe, they're nutritious, they're highest quality, and the last thing we want to do is destroy them.
It seems like it's a bit of a wide net for that pot of money. I mean, there seems to be mental health supports, there's finding new markets. Is there a reason why it's not sort of more specific in terms of what people can apply for under that $10 million fund?
Well, it's going to come more narrow once we're continuously working with the potato board and their partners and their farmers that are coming in with proposals. So it will get streamlined over the next few weeks. Yeah.
So the federal government so far has basically not indicated any details about a financial compensation package and have instead just pointed to existing business risk management programs, agri-stability. Why is that not adequate, I guess, to deal with the financial need that you're seeing from PEI growers?
Well, our concern, I mean, we increased the reference margin and the thresholds of the agri-stability when COVID first came in. As an island, we did that. We don't feel those programs will get the money into the hands fast enough for the farmers. No sense getting a check after the farm is at the foreclosure state. The farmers need the money in their banks now. They have millions of dollars worth of products in their warehouses that they can't do anything with. So the programs are designed, but I don't think they're designed for this magnitude of stress on one industry, on individual farms. It's not one box that's going to check this off. This is dramatic. So.
Okay. I guess just on a bit of a different matter, it sort of seems when you look at the United States, there's a bit of a concerted, almost PR campaign on the part of the National Potato Council, which is an industry organization representing U.S. potato growers. I mean, in the last week alone, they seem to have published opinion pieces and articles supporting the export halt in the Packer magazine and Spudman magazine, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of counter from the Canadian side, from Canadian growers or, representatives of the federal government. So I'm sort of wondering why, from just a communications angle, there hasn't really been that effort from the PEI side to sort of provide another side to United States agricultural industry reps, aside from the U.S. Potato Council's position.
I think that's a good point. And in the coming weeks, at our meetings, we asked our federal partners to help us with that communication. Help us. We need that support of that voice to counter that attack. Next week, I believe we're going to focus on the U.S. As a provincial government to try to knock on doors there, open some doors, have those conversations. And it is quite a lobby that's working against us down there. And they need our product. They want our product. There's a shortage of potatoes across North America. And this is a very short-term gain that's going to happen for a few U.S. markets. So the long term, even everything from the logistics to get potatoes down there, we are set up. Our trucking industry is set up to deliver this product, and they're finding quite a distribution challenge in some of those New England markets because of the situation that they put themselves in, and so we really have to focus on that. Our meeting with the ambassador, David Cohen, he understood the situation. He was very well informed, and he really stressed that he wants to put the urgency on this to get this resolved. That was his message we left there with. It was probably the most reassuring thing we heard on our trip, that he was going to push for urgency. Yeah.
Last thing for me, I guess. One claim from the U.S. National Potato Council is that they have information that they say has been provided to them by the Canada Food Inspection Agency that details reduced soil testing over the last 2 years, in particular, year 2020, 2021. They say that's evidence that there's not enough knowledge of the degree of potato wart spread on Prince Edward Island. The CFIA has denied that there's been a reduction in testing, but I have not obtained specific numbers from them. Is this new information? Is this information that you're aware of? What do you think of that claim from the Potato Council?
That's new information that we're aware of. We are trying to organize another technical briefing from CFIA and to see if that is true. We were always under the assumption that our management plan was sufficient, was doing its job, and we had no reason for concerns. And so this raises an issue that puts even more question on CFIA in our mind. So I think we have a question on the phone.
Danielle Edwards, Canadian Press.
Good morning.
Hi. Yes, sorry, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Yes, I just wanted to double check how long, and I apologize if this question's already been asked, but how long do you expect the stock of potatoes can last until inevitably they'll need to be destroyed?
Well, it's a perishable crop, as you know. The problem is that they can probably keep for months, but the problem is if we have to destroy potatoes, it has to be done when there's frost on the ground. And so that is over the January, February months. So it really pushes our timeline to forward 8 to 10 weeks really is our window of that we are dealing with. And because we'll get into environmental issues if we wait too long, and it's just a nightmare after that. So this decision has to be made with probably in the next few weeks.
Okay, and then I also wanted to ask, because I know that there's been some ideas floating around of different locations to perhaps ship the stock that exists now. Where exactly is PEI looking to perhaps export the stock that exists?
Well, one of the markets was a third of our U.S. production went to Puerto Rico, which is a territory of the U.S. They follow the U.S. USDA guidelines or protection. So we are trying to deal with that, but that market is not looking very secure right now. But we're not giving up on that market. We service that market for years and years and years, and it's been a great partnership. But everyone is looking for new markets now. It's going to be a challenge because people book these in advance, so we're really probably going to be stealing someone else's market, or there's possibility of creating new markets, but everything, I think Minister McKay's shop is working hard on trying to find new markets and new business developments across anywhere in the world.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I just ask, is there a planned follow-up meeting with the Canadian federal government at all? Is there future meetings planned?
Yes, we are. I think it's shifting from CFIA technical meetings now to federal provincial compensation meetings. Now is where our focus is going to be. We need their support here to get through this.
When's the next meeting planned?
The communications are always open. I think Minister Bebo was planning on coming, but she postponed her trip, so we're looking at probably having a conversation early next week, Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.